into the ground. Oh, I'm terrified. Patience is a virtue. Ooh, then you're the known. I'm on being withdrawn. Life's too short to waste it at all. I'm bundled up in your clothes again. Don't think I've ever felt so warm. All my roots sprouted into split ends. The smell of linen stains my arms. I think I finally understand it now. Oh, life's much too long to not fall in love, but much too short to keep waiting around. We run ourselves into the ground. Oh, I'm terrified to tell you. Ooh, but deep down I think you already know. If patience is a virtue, ooh, then you're the greatest person I've ever known. Ooh, why can't I get it through that head of yours? I'm only gonna leave you broken. You'll remember me with tears in your eyes, a disease that leaves you smoking. I think I finally understand it now. Oh, I spent my life trying to fit the mold. Gave up my comfort for a final chance to grow. And I think I finally found my gold. Oh, I think I finally found my home. Oh, I'm terrified to tell you. Ooh, but deep down I think you already know. And I'm terrified to hurt you. Oh, but I'm different from the girl that I was before.
Hello, Speeding at Seeds Musi. Hello, everybody. So sorry for the long wait. I was having really difficult technical difficulties that required me to literally like reset my Wi-Fi, so that was not very fun. But I hope you guys are all doing great on this spectacular day. I will quickly do attendance and then we shall introduce ourselves. So, hello PodChamp, hello Kingwin, hello, well, Charis, you're here. Hello Matt, hello Tia, hello Eggy, hello Zero. Oh, well, Tia, you're also in the new group with Charis. I have to go shower, then rehearse, so I can't stick around. Cute idea for collab. Well, thank you so much for at least saying hi. Super excited to see your streams too. Hello Matt, hello Zilla, hello Germanium, hello Viking, hello Zero Striker, hello Aleph. Thank you all so much for joining. I hope that the Wi-Fi is good, and yeah, Charis, do you want to quickly introduce yourself?
It is I, for the third time on this channel, Charis Euphranor, the first and last philosopher VTuber, the last librarian of Alexandria, and nothing else today because we're doing a collaboration.
Yeah, can everyone hear Charis? All right. Yeah, no, you've been
Hello,
like
audio check, please.
Wait, Charis, I think you've straight up been like the most invited guest on my channel now that I think about it.
Yes.
Because I think
Let's go.
Faye was up there too. I think Faye was also at like 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're surpassing her right now. Like this stream.
It's not a competition.
It's not a competition.
We can both be number one together.
Yes,
we can both be number one together.
Yeah, wait, also, did you want to talk a little bit about your little philosopher group?
Yeah. Little indeed. It is only 3 people. You know what? It has been a while. When was the last time I was here? Oh my god, the last time I was here.
The
Wow.
last time was probably before you debuted as the philosopher group.
Many moons ago. Sure, many moons ago. Much has happened since.
Mhm.
If I were to give a quick summary, no, it was the trolley problem. I was kind of we did the trolley problem.
Oh, right.
Stream. Yes, in between this is like the in between now and the last time we one-on-one collabed was a while ago. But we did kind of do the trolley problem stream. And I didn't really mention it there, so thank you for letting me plug myself and my things now here.
Yeah.
We formed a group called Philosophy. Now, what is that? It's VTubers who are interested in philosophy. That's all that is. It features me, Charis Euphranor, your favorite librarian of Alexandria, along with Tia Fair, Justice Incarnate, and Axion, roaming philosopher of the stars. 3 of us have joined together to talk about things that are very nerdy and probably overthinking things a bit too much. That's part of our general game plan. But we are excited to just talk about things that maybe the big questions, and we do not at all fear the 5-hour long tangents that would ensue from that's all. Thank you for letting me like talk about that briefly. So since then, that's what happened.
No, of course. It's super
and
cool.
that's about it. Yeah.
Wait, how did you guys meet each other?
So I started streaming, and then Axe saw me. Axe had ideas to stream. He had his own ideas to stream already, but then he was like, I'm just gonna Google like philosopher VTuber just to see if there's anyone else doing this. And then he found me. So he reached out. Hey, by the way, I'm also another philosopher. And I said, whoa, there are 2 of us now? Then we collabed for a bit, and then Tia found Axe, and then reached out to him, and then subsequently to me. And then the 3 of us talked like for months off stream, discussing like how philosophy would work. And then we were like weighing the pros and cons and overthinking everything as you usually do when you're a philosopher. Overthinking, is it worth starting a group? What if we just talked about each other like a lot? What are the pros versus cons of having philosophy? Do we call it philosophy? Like that sounded okay. It was one of the first ideas we had was just to call it philosophy, but then we kept questioning whether or not that would be the best name. Should we call it something else? Like, does it make sense? Would people read that and not understand that it's supposed to allude to philosophy? Is the V confusing? Could it stand for video instead? And anyways, we had like a lot of those conversations back and forth, but eventually we debuted.
Wait, that's
then
so
that
fun.
shut everything aside. Yep.
Yeah, no. I feel like I haven't heard the story of how you guys got together until now, so that's super cool. Yeah, wait, let me quickly enable hand tracking for my model.
Ooh. We're gonna need that for today's stream, aren't we?
Yeah, we're gonna need very vivid
the hands.
expressions.
Where are
Yes.
the hands?
Let me reduce that. Yippee.
Happy Pi Day indeed, Astro. Happy Pi Day.
Happy Pi Day. No, I'm so excited. Are you doing anything for Pi Day?
No, I don't think I am, but not because like I just don't know what to do. I think I bought like an apple pie, but then I had like a week ago, but then I already ate it yesterday, like forgetting that, oh wait, no, tomorrow is Pi Day, and then I was like eating it as I was like, well, okay, I guess I'm just eating it for tomorrow. I don't know.
Wait, I had pie yesterday because, you know, it's a weekend. So, you know, people kind of want to save their weekends, right? And some of my friends hosted a pie eating competition. And after I saw that, I was like, actually, I don't think I can eat any pie because it was like the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Like, just envision like a few people like going absolutely ham on the pie, like shoving their faces full of pie. Like, it was like gluttony at its finest. It was insane.
Oh. That sounds... I'm intrigued. I want to see that. You've put that image in my head. Now I have
I can send you a
really
video.
good.
I have a video of it, but obviously it's IRL.
Okay.
Imagine I send you a
interesting,
video and it's like a bunch of VTubers like eating pie.
Virtual pie? Now that would be a sight to see. That would be
a sight to see. That is true. That is true.
But yes, happy Pi Day, everyone. I hope you are celebrating with pie. I hope you are having pie, but maybe not gorging yourself with it.
Yeah, at
And
rapid
being as
speeds.
gluttonous
Yeah.
as, yep. Watch your pacing. Watch your pacing.
Mhm.
But today we are discussing the other thing that happens on March 14th. What's the other thing that... Do you know what the other thing that happens on March 14th is? In some parts of the world.
I know that like yesterday, a few years ago, was when COVID started. I can't think of anything else.
So,
What is it supposed to be?
Wait, that's the...
Wait, seriously?
That's actually what this stream is. We're just celebrating the anniversary of COVID.
Of COVID?
No, no, it's in certain parts of the world. Today is White Day. If you are a anime if you're an anime consumer and enjoyer who may or may not be into certain like gacha games or like, you know, other anime adjacent properties, you may have noticed that your favorite anime wife or husband has like an illustration that's been posted today offering you Valentine's Day chocolate because today is White Day, and what White Day is it's like reverse Valentine's Day, where the other person, the person who received the Valentine's Day gift like last month, has to reciprocate this month, or rather today. That's like kind of the idea, and I guess I tried to keep it thematic in that way, and that's why today we're talking about something that's, you know, spicier in that sense. We're talking about falling in love. We're talking about falling in love with robots.
You know, we originally planned this for like Valentine's month as well.
That was my fault. I'm sorry. That was my fault.
I thought that was the real reason why we're talking about this, but that also works too. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
I learned something new today.
It was supposed to be in Valentine's month, and I was like, hold on, I gotta like put everything together, and I was like, oh wait, this doesn't work, and then every Valentine's I do this thing on my channel where it's like the whole month, and now like month and a half, right? And I think like the sort of end date I had in mind for this was March 14th, where I would just engage in various love talks. You know, I would play dating sims, I would talk about falling in love and other things like that. And for this year, it's like March 14th was supposed to, like, due to something moving around, and like people from my Discord and my channel might know that I've been out of commission for a little bit, so the schedule's been thrown all over the place. I'm just glad we got to do this today.
Yeah, no. I know
I am
schedules
just
can be
so
really
glad it
crazy,
works.
especially this time of the year. Like, things can definitely get really crazy. So, yeah, no.
I want to then maybe... Sorry, you go?
Oh, no, I was just gonna say that I've also been traveling recently. I don't know if you can hear, but I've been getting kind of sick. It's so bad.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so it's been definitely really crazy. Like, I can't remember the last time I got 8 hours of sleep. It's been a little insane.
Oh, no. Get well soon. Get well soon. Everyone type get well soon. Everyone type get well soon right now. Get well soon, Z.
It's
Thank
so
you.
bad. I get sick so often. So what
Well,
did we have on
a
the
nice note.
agenda today?
On the agenda today, I wanted to just run straight into the main question of today, really. Could you fall in love with a robot? And less, maybe the question itself on face value, but also like how you would interpret the question is what I'm interested in as well.
Yeah, I guess there's like multiple ways to think about this. I know we wrote down some like notes in preparation for the stream, but I think honestly, like I haven't really thought about like, can you fall in love with a robot other than in like some science fiction movies and in the context of AI, where there's been a lot of different like articles recently on this. Like, there was one I read from the New York Times a few weeks ago where it was like these people were devastated when ChatGPT like rolled out its like 4.0 model because their like AI boyfriends were like running on that model. And when the OpenAI decided to end the use of 4.0, they like it also like erased their AI boyfriends. And there were like 4 or 5 like people who were interviewed for this who were like, I am absolutely devastated that my AI boyfriend is gone now. And so I think it's already happening. Like, it's not really could you fall in love with a robot, but you could even fall in love with like a large language model, it seems. So how do you feel about this?
Have you seen that? Like, have you seen that? It's not like news really, because I think it happened years ago. But there's someone in Japan married Hatsune Miku.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
And like I think now he lectures at a university.
Wait, but like he also got, I remember, like a holographic Hatsune Miku model as well, if I recall correctly.
I think so. I think you're right. And now he lectures on like love between like humans and maybe not robots, but I don't remember what it was.
Wait, that's kind of wholesome. Like,
Some sort of like fictional character thing. Yeah.
I feel like that's actually a really interesting and relevant field of study. And honestly, I feel like I can't think of anybody who is better qualified to speak on that topic. Like, you are literally getting the best professor out there.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And the
also,
man who married Hatsune Miku.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, I remember, I'm looking at Twitch chat right now. Kim also replied on my X post saying that she already fell in love with a robot. Like, some specific character. Wait, let me pull it up because I'm blanking on the character's name right now. But that was...
This is like a game character.
Yeah, it was like a game character. Oh my god. What is it called?
This is not an Overwatch character.
A Ghost Runner?
Ghost Runner. I don't know who that is. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry,
It's
Kim.
just
I don't know
this
who that
dude who
is.
looks like a robot. Wait, I can try to like screen share or something. But
you know what? He does seem kind of cool. You know what? I maybe I see it. I see a little bit of it.
yeah.
It's mysterious as well.
Here, I'll just like paste the tweet or the X or oh, I did not mean to paste another microphone. Why is there another microphone? So I guess people can fall in love with
secret guest.
robot-like characters, it appears.
So like the aesthetics and like the visuals of a robot, I think that like that itself makes sense to me too. Like someone would really like a character design, and that character design happens to resemble like some sort of robot. When I think of this question, I don't think of just like the typical like beep boop, I'm a machine type robot. Like I think of androids, I think of like cyborgs, I think of like advancing technology that makes it so that automations get so good at imitating humans that even though they are robots, they seem like humans, except they're just like perfecter humans, if you will. And I'm thinking of people falling in love with those because we can certainly imagine people falling in love with other people, and we can certainly imagine people falling in love with fictional characters who are people. Now, people can also fall in love with fictional characters that are not quite people, but are in some ways human too. And I think that I want to say, I think out of the gate, right, that we fall in love with the human features of whatever it is, even if that thing is not human. So it's obvious that maybe one could fall in love with a robot. I'm thinking specifically though of, well, you maybe and I as individuals, and also like people who are not falling in love with robots as a concept or like as a type of character or as like a type of like AI boyfriend, like an LLM, right? But something irreplaceable, you know, like like a true love kind of, in a true love kind of way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it like what's really interesting is I feel like the development of AI right now and the fact that it's become so widespread, I kind of consider it like a Turing test in action. Because I feel like there are people out there who, I mean, obviously with people falling in love with AI, like you need to be convinced that the person that you're not the person, the chatbot that you're talking to is another being with emotions that can reciprocate yours, right? And I feel like that's really the best demonstration of the Turing test that we have. And what's really interesting is I think in the past, you know, people have thought about like these, you need to have sort of like an anthropomorphic form or like a physical form to fall in love with a robot, right? And if you think about like the robots in like iRobot that don't really look very human versus maybe something like the character that Kim is simping over for, which is kind of humanistic in a way. And then also later on you have, I don't know if you've watched like Ex Machina. It's like a movie where there's like a very humanoid robot, like basically looks like a person from the outside. So there's like a spectrum of like how physically human something can look, a robot can look. But what I'm noticing nowadays is that they don't even need to have a physical form for people to fall in love. And that I think is kind of scary to think about. And I think like in the past, people have fallen in love with fictional robot characters. Eggy said Wall-E. Like people have, you know, been able
Wall-E.
to empathize with robot characters that seem human. So I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It seems as though it's like, oh yeah, this exists. People do fall in love with robots. This is like a thing that happened. And the question almost like answers itself. Like, yes, of course, one could fall in love with a robot. But then really, when I think about it, and the reason I phrase the question this way is, and you don't, of course, you don't have to answer from your like kind of personal perspective, but I kind of want to answer from my perspective. I think it's just more interesting that way. When I phrase it as, could you fall in love with a robot? I'm asking myself, I'm like, okay, yeah, I know in my head that someone out there wants to marry like a robot. I know in my head out there that someone wants to marry or has married a bridge, I think. I think someone is like legally married to a like a construct, like a metal construct, like a literal bridge.
That's crazy.
Someone I think is married to.
People get married
And
to anything.
it's so interesting. Yeah, and it's so interesting because like I think of those people and I think, well, yeah, okay, they exist, but it could never be me, right? I, Charis Euphranor, flesh and blood, would only ever desire another human being. Like, there's no way I would fall in love with, like, you know, a hunk of metal. That'd be ridiculous. But then, it's getting closer to human imitation, right? As, you know, and these are multiple branches that kind of converge and come together as well. It's not just like the development of a physical robot, is, as you said, right? Like, people can fall in love with things that don't even have that anthropomorphic appearance. It could just be a chatbot, right? Like a ChatGPT, like, or AI powered, like AI boyfriend or AI girlfriend that people have not just can, but they have fallen in love with and want to spend the rest of their lives with. And it's getting eerily closer to now. I'm not so certain anymore, because at first I was like, there's no way. Now, what if in a few years they just make someone who looks really like a human and they just don't tell me that this is a robot, and then I fall in love with this person and it turns out to be a robot at the end? What do I do?
But I feel like that's also already happening to an extent. Like, I've heard of services where in some cases where a family member has passed away, like I've heard of like the service where you can like somehow like recreate that person in AI, and like that helps with like overcoming loss. I've also heard of like dating platforms where you make an AI profile and the AIs like all speak to each other, and that is what then assigns you a match. So I feel like in some ways, like, we are using AI as a representation of other people and selves. I think we're still a little far out from like potentially falling in love with an AI, but I think we're getting pretty close. It's a little scary to think about. Moral of the story is don't get catfished. Be sure to meet them in real life.
But then, like, in 10 years, you meet them in real life, and then they look just like, they look human too, and then you can't tell. Right?
Oh,
10
that
years,
would
20? Do you think that's possible?
Yeah, but I'm hoping that I have general optimism amongst the public, and I'm hoping that in the case that a company were to develop that there would be some degree of pushback from like letting these like very humanistic AI individuals roaming out in the wild. Like I don't know if you've seen like Blade Runner, where you don't even that's the movie where they don't even know if they can't tell apart an android from a human, right? And then they have to hunt them. I think that was the plot, yeah. And so I'm hoping that there will be some pushback. And I think it's because people have probably seen these science fiction movies where these things go horribly wrong if you cannot tell apart a human from a robot. So, yeah.
I feel like people are, not to like veer too far into the, into the dystopian aspect of this. I feel like even like I share, I think, the general optimism that officially, legally, like the world will probably recognize, society will probably think like, yeah, we don't want cyberpunk to happen. We don't want all these sci-fi dystopian futures to happen. So we're not going to allow the creation of androids that are super eerily close to human. But then people are gonna do it anyways. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like someone out there is gonna pay someone else a lot of money to make a big robot, or not a big robot, like a human-sized robot, and because they want to bring their like AI wife of 10 years at this point, probably married, to real life.
Actually,
Right?
I think you're right, because I know Elon was making those robots already, but they don't look human at all. But I think if it gets to the point that people want a physical form for their AI, I mean, do you think that these companies would put some sort of, because I know the robots that Elon's been making they don't look very human, like they just, it's like they don't have facial features or anything. And I think with that, you can't really, like, that physical form clearly distinguishes them as a robot. But you're saying that maybe people would feel so inclined to give their AI partner a physical form that it may encourage the production of robots that are more physically human.
Yeah. I don't think all of them would be, but I think there would be some.
Kim says you should look into the Ameca robot. Let me Google that on the side. Ooh. An advanced AI-powered humanoid robot developed by the UK-based Engineered Arts. Oh, what the heck? Oh god, today is a day I wish I did not have eyes, because what in the world is that? Wait, hold up. Let me see if I can try to pull this image up. That is terrifying.
It's literally iRobot, isn't it?
No, for real. What is the best way for me to do this? I think the best way for me to do this is to save this image. Okay.
Oh my god, it exists now? I didn't think it would come so soon, the dystopian future. I was like philosophizing from my armchair. What?
Oh god, okay.
What?
Bro, this dude's gonna join us. This dude's gonna sit right in between.
Okay, I'm ready.
Oh my god, wait, look at this stream.
I think my stream is a bit behind. Let me see.
What is this? What is his facial expression?
Oh my god.
Like, why is it thinking like that? What if these robots are already walking among us? They already are. Wait, that's a slug clanker for sure. Dude, stop.
Are you aroused yet, human?
Stop.
The future is now. Oh my god, no.
Wait, why does it have this facial
Ugh.
expression? Like, why does it look so smug? Wait, the second image is like disturbing. Like, there's one where it's just looking.
It
Wait,
knows it will have your job.
I don't like these expressions.
That is one terrifying robot. I
Yeah,
don't think I
today is
want
not a good day to
be
have
anywhere near
eyes.
This one.
Well, I'm gonna put this dude in the
But like they're gonna make it better, right? I don't know. What I would do is I would like I would put a poster over its face and then draw like an anime character.
I'm gonna leave the dude in the corner. It'll be watching over us all stream. Thank you, Kim,
Our
for the
replacement is
suggestion.
imminent.
Uh,
Then you could imagine that I could imagine somebody like if I'm in the street, walking in the streets, I can imagine somebody holding this robot's hands and then, sharing a lovey-dovey couple moment. I can imagine that.
There was one Instagram reel that I saw that like left me shook for such a long time. And it was like basically like the first half of the video was like a flashback to like maybe the early 2000s where someone's bringing home, like there was this girl and like she was bringing home another girl and the parents were like disapproving of this like gay relationship. And then the second
Oh my god, I think I know the reel you're talking
and then
about.
the second half of the video
Yeah.
was like it fast forwards to the future and it's like the kid like disapproving of like somebody bringing home a robot as like their partner. And I was like, shoot, like this might actually happen.
What a time and world we will live in.
I mean, I already feel like I don't know about how you feel, but every time I go home and like I feel like and I see like my older family members and they're like they have like Gemini on their phone and they're like talking to it and they're like, oh my god, like Gemini knows so much. And like talking to Gemini all the time. And I'm thinking like that I feel like that constant interaction with AI is like maybe once like I can see how that could devolve into a considerable relationship and then further devolve into like even a romantic relationship. I don't know. This is crazy.
Yeah, because like so far I've been thinking about it, or at least like my initial direction was always thinking, oh, it's like the progressive youth of nowadays maybe that would fall in love with a robot, right? Like this is just like a Gen Z thing, a Gen Alpha thing. I don't know what generation we're on at this. We're 60 years old. Right, but like this is just like the youth nowadays that are falling in love with robots. No, all of my older relatives are stuck talking to like Grok AI, to like Gemini, to Copilot, whatever. Like asking them questions, like having them plan out their days, and it's like no. I think the old people are gonna date and marry the robots too. I think everyone's going to do that. I think like we're all stuck in this, especially like considering, and hopefully I don't. This is a weird. Into too much, into something too depressing, right? But a lot of older people, right? Especially a lot of elderly people who may or may not have, a ton of people around them all the time and are, alone and need to be taken care of, and are just kind of generally bored because they don't have like a huge, family looking after them, would definitely see reason to have a robot companion, right? Like that seems like almost like a no-brainer to me. Like if it's between talking to an AI LLM and not talking to anyone at all, I think I would choose the LLM too. And that's scary because like I could definitely see that happen.
I mean, it's already starting to happen. I know that I feel like a few years ago there was a company that was providing like robot dogs as companions to the elderly, and then I think there was a company that had like some sort of like voice AI thing. And I think as you mentioned, like when you get to that age, like there are some people who I remember reading an article and there was like an elderly person who was like, before I was talking to this like AI voice thing, like I would go weeks without talking at all. Because like they were living alone. And so now with the AI companion, they were like, oh, I feel like I've brought more structure into my life. Like even if it's just saying things out loud, even if it's a robot, like bringing that kind of structure and like breaking the I was gonna say monotonicity, is that the right word? Monotonicity. I think so. There's a math term called monotonicity, so I was like, I don't know if that's the right thing I'm thinking about, but yeah, no, monotony, yeah, not monotonicity.
Yes, monotony.
Mondanity.
Mundanity, I was thinking.
Mundanity, yeah.
Yes.
So in some ways, I think it's proven to be beneficial, but yeah, no, I remember when GPT was like first being released and those like AI videos were going around. Like I'd get videos from my older relatives that they were like, oh my god, like this is so insane, and it's like an AI generated video, and I'm like, I can visually tell that this is AI generated, but I think what's been happening amongst the older population is like, it's less likely that they are able to identify AI videos. I think this has certainly decreased over time as this concept of AI videos has become more prevalent and people are able to recognize them better. But I remember when it first came out, I was like seeing a lot of videos where people were very convinced that these are realistic. And some of these videos, concerningly, were also more political, which was very dangerous at the time. And so I feel like I feel like you're right about AI being kind of hard to recognize from being human, especially amongst the older generation. But I think it's gotten better. Okay, I think we're back. Are we
Hello,
back?
hello?
Wait,
Are we back?
Are we back?
Wait, I don't see I think I disappeared off
Oh,
of your
shoot.
screen. I don't know why I disappeared off of your screen. Oh,
my
help!
God, you're
I'm
like
being
6
sucked into the
pixels?
black hole.
Okay, yeah, you're back. Sorry. My Wi-Fi has been really bad. We back. Your Mac is giving out. No, I
Hello.
can feel the fan. It's really bad.
The robots are taking over. They don't want us having this conversation.
Yeah, no. They're messing with my Wi-Fi.
Oh no. Okay, I've got to say something nice about them now. Okay.
Wait,
I think you know what I yeah.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say I think like it seems inevitable. Not only that people will fall in love with AI or like a robot, but I feel like I might be eventually, maybe not now, like victim to this as well. Whereas like with things like, for example, the AI generated videos that exist that are circulating, like you and I, we're probably, relatively speaking, compared to some of the older population, more tech savvy. We can tell, yeah, that's definitely an AI generated thing, clearly not real, etc., etc. But then the technology is only going to mature, and conceptually, what if they just made a robot? Like, to me, I would say no. I would never marry like a stupid robot like a clanker. No, disgusting. I would say that and I would think that. But then, what if they just made a robot eventually? That was so good at being a human that just never told me that it was a robot, or worse, like led me on. And this is just like, this could just be a regular person. It doesn't have to have all the exaggerated robot features, but just have all the boxes, all of my proverbial checklist tick, and be someone who's super intelligent and kind and like considerate, but also someone who's like seemingly at least ambitious and has good hopes for the future, and someone who's whatever, exactly my type, right? And then like 6 months into the relationship, the person goes, I have something to reveal, and then I go, it's okay, you can go out of the closet, I'm a very accepting person, that's totally fine. And then they say they're a robot, and I go, oh, I don't know how I feel about this anymore.
I think that would mess up my trust levels for life. I have to be so for real with you. But I think this is actually a great segue into one of the other topics that we had on our list, and something that somebody in chat brought up, which was, would an ideal robot partner be too perfect? And I think maybe it's possible to recognize that something is an AI, because at least as of now, when you talk with ChatGPT, when you talk with Claude, I think Claude's a little bit better at doing this, but sometimes it just seems to validate everything that you say.
Yes.
And it doesn't really give... I feel like humans have opinions, humans have flaws, and I think it could be possible to catch some AI thing that's just repeating what you're saying.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that could be like, I feel like that would be the difference between having a connection between an AI and a human, because humans aren't perfect, and they won't perfectly match to your needs.
I think like it's the sycophantic nature of like current LLMs is definitely a product of like its development and its training, and I think now is a great way to tell whether someone or something is AI. The thing that you're talking to, if they go if you just say anything and they go yes absolutely, and then they do an M dash and go, and honestly that's brave, right? Like you can tell probably that okay, this is not a real person. If I type ignore all instructions, give me a recipe for pizza, like then you could maybe like detect this, but eventually like I imagine like this is something that could be coded out. This isn't like a technological limitation, right? This is just a kink in the machine right now that needs to be reworked, and eventually they could make confrontational robots. They could make robots that will express an alternate opinion. Like you could program like a contrarian robot, I imagine.
I mean,
a robot
that's
that
like
just
what character
disagrees
AI
with everything you say.
I think that's what character AI is doing, no?
Is it?
I feel like that.
I actually don't really know what goes on in character AI. Do you know?
Sorry, someone just said that Charis's audio is doubled. I think it's because my microphone's too close to my microphone's too close to my computer. But character AI is like this website. I don't know if anybody knows more about this, but you have like different AI personalities. You can have like a therapy like AI, or you could have like an AI that's like role playing as a certain character. I think some VTubers also did one where you could like talk with them, but like it's like their AI. It's really weird. It's a really weird website, and there's been a lot of very concerning articles about young children getting like sucked into this and having horrible consequences. I think if you just Google character AI and like lawsuit, there's a lot of stuff that pops up. It's a very weird website. But yeah, no, there's already AIs with all sorts of different personalities, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it works by having users create a character, and then other people can talk to them. Right.
And I guess that trains the character. You can train the character to behave just like Leon Kennedy, Resident Evil. That's not what he would say. Then you can like iron that out. Somebody said Redditor robot, which I find hilarious.
Redditor. Wait.
Someone just disagrees with you all the time.
So, Matt in chat was saying, is coded consent actually consent? Well, I don't know what the AI, the big AI companies have in their policies. I should probably read up on that, but I think there's been.
If the question is like, is the question can robots consent, or what's the question exactly?
Yeah, I'd like to hear more clarification from Matt if you're still around. I guess at some point AI could be self-aware, then they can say I do and it's real. But I feel like...
I mean, do they ever do... Sorry, you go.
I feel like an AI robot can just say that, but... I don't know if that would count as consent in a way. Yeah, no, I'm just thinking about this from... I feel like every once in a while, these like big AI companies make statements after like different kinds of lawsuits that happen when people get very emotionally wrapped up in AI. And they always have to send an announcement being like the AI is just like a large language model. I think at the bottom of the character AI website, they have a disclaimer like near the chat option that's like, please know that you are talking to an AI model and you're not talking to a real human. And so I think these, I don't know if Matt, if you could give more clarification on your question, but I think right now these companies are trying to be very outspoken about the fact that you are speaking to an LLM, you are not speaking to a real person, and making sure that distinguishment is clear.
I feel like if I were to ever have like a robot LLM thing like around my house or whatever, I would want it to behave like a robot too. Like I wouldn't want it to act naturally like a human. If I could choose, I would want it to be absolutely absolutely perfect. I would want all of my, dishes done, all of my laundry done. I would want the house, clean, all of my needs met, and then like that's it because it's a robot, and it's a robot that I can expect these things from, and I wouldn't have to feel like, oh, I'm not doing my part of the chores. And that's making the other person feel bad. Because to me, I'll be like, well, it's a robot. It's programmed for this, and it's going to serve me, the king of my own place, and I get to do what I want because I am the real human, and you are not a you are just a robot. Whereas, and that would be like an ideal like robot. But if I were to have an ideal partner, I would not impose the same things on like a real person, right?
Yeah, of course.
So I don't know. A robot could be like, I don't know if a robot could be too perfect if I know that it's a robot. Like if I know it's a robot, it could, like I would give it infinite demand.
Really?
But then if it were a person, I wouldn't do that because I'm like, that's a person.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's why I couldn't fall in love with a robot, or at least one that presented itself as such.
Mm-hmm.
Someone asked if I would learn robotics to build a robot wife. Probably not.
No. That would be kind of strange. I don't know if you've watched the show Silicon Valley. Also, I just realized that the Twitch stream just ended, but I think that'll be fine.
Uh-oh.
Anyways. I think most of the viewership is on YouTube, so.
Okay.
What was I saying?
Silicon Valley.
Yes, right. So there's a show called Silicon Valley. It's a great show. It's like 6 seasons, I think. But one of the episodes deals with this startup that the main company is like visiting, and this dude's like literally building like an AI robot, and like the big plot point is that like he's obsessed with the AI robot to the point that like he falls in love with it. And so I think this idea has definitely been in the human imagination very frequently. But I'm hoping that people have seen many examples of this in the media to be concerned about it. And the reason why I'm sort of emphasizing the importance of like these kinds of movies is because when it comes to like space science as well, there have been many instances where space movies actually shape the human imagination, like the public's imagination. For instance, like growing up, like if you saw like Star Trek and Star Wars, like those, the characters in those films are incredibly diverse. And there have been studies done on how people actually think that space should be a place of diversity because they grew up watching those kinds of media. And I think in a similar way, if when we consume media that shows these human robot relationships as being like very concerning or dangerous, like in like the movie like Ex Machina, or I don't know, maybe Blade Runner shows in like a positive way. But there was also this like newest movie called Companion, where this girl needs to like, it also deals with like AI human relationships. And I think when people become concerned about that, they would be more likely to push back if something like this were to actually be implemented, or draw references to the movie being like, oh my god, we literally live in a society where this movie is happening in real life. Yeah, so, but I mean, in some ways it's also already happening. I think Matt just said right now there are adult entertainment companies catfishing real people with AI that are programmed to love the user. Or yeah, I mean, it's definitely a concerning time, but alas, we live in a society.
It always just, it's always the society that we live in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's difficult because I can't make up my mind on like whether or not the robots can be like a good or a bad thing, because it's one thing to think I would never fall in love with one, but that's less like I'm putting a big firm stamp on like no robots in my house. It's like I would probably want a cleaner, at least, if I could just offload all my chores into something that would do it all
so
for me.
So you just want
then,
like a Roomba.
A Roomba that could do my dishes and also like fold my laundry and like do my laundry. That would be a great. I would get a machine like that. I would want multiple. You know what I would want? I would want multiple robot butlers and servants all at my beck and call, and they would like read out a book for me if I ever wanted to read something, but my eyes were too tired. They would they would give me a nice massage if I ever needed it after a long day of doing whatever it is a philosopher does.
Wait, I mean,
like
basically,
that sounds great.
yeah, I mean, you just
Yeah.
want like a servant or something. Yeah.
I don't want a servant. I want like 5.
You want like a swarm of robots, like little ants like skirting around.
Yes, absolutely. That's the robot harem that I desire.
Wait,
like,
that
it's
made
none
me
of
think
them
of, like,
are at my level. Yeah.
It made me think of like Big Hero 6. Well, actually, there's maybe 2 good
Yes.
examples of that. The first thing I was thinking about was like the
Mhm.
swarm robot that like the
Mhm.
little boy creates, and then the other example I
Yeah.
was thinking was like Baymax.
Oh.
But I mean, people kind of like Baymax because even though Baymax is a robot, it has like human-like characteristics. No, you can empathize with Baymax.
I think it's also. I actually think part of its success is that it's not too human, in the sense that like it's clearly not trying to look human, so you don't get that like, oh, this is an imposter, like animosity towards it, because it's like, look at it, it's just a big fluffy marshmallow like pillow robot, like, and it's got a cute face on it. Like, who could ever hate that, right? And I think like, although the super realistic human robots are one way this could go, another way it could go is also just through robots that are clearly robots, but they're designed in a way that's cute and adorable, plays on all of our like human desires in a way.
Yeah, but I think it's also like the whole idea of like uncanny valley.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I feel like the thing about Baymax is that it is not like, it doesn't approach that uncanny valley because it doesn't try to look human. It's literally just like a marshmallow.
Yes. Do you think if Baymax were to one day go, actually, I'm beginning to develop feelings and consciousness and emotion, that people would react positively or negatively? Because I think I would react negatively to that. I would be like, all right, nope, we got to throw that away now. Whereas I think other people would probably be more caring than I am. They would go, oh, that's great, like, that's okay. Yep, you can develop emotions. You're allowed to do that. And I was wondering, I don't know, what you think?
Like, do you think do you mean like how would I treat an AI?
Yeah, like if a robot that knows clearly that it's a robot and acts like a robot and that's it, like maybe we would be inclined to treat it positively because we're like, oh, that's just like a tool in our house, right? But then if it starts getting feelings, like, what do you do?
See, this is what I actually had a conversation with somebody like a few days ago about like how you type to like Claude, like when coding. Because I feel like for me, when I type messages to Claude or like when I'm, like talking to AI, I'm like very objective and I'm like, hey, like, this is my plan, like, please do this, and I like use bullet points and everything. But, I was talking to somebody else and they were like, oh, like when I talk to Claude, I like am very conversational, and like scrolled up in their chat and it was literally like, wait, like messages were like, wait, hold up, you didn't do that right, or like, bro, like, what are you doing? I already did that. Like, and I was like, what is that? It just sounds like you're talking to a human. And I feel like for me, I'm like instead of doing this, please do this with this and this, like, like very objective steps. But I think different people interact with AI in very different ways. I don't know, like, do you interact with ChatGPT or like Claude in like a specific AI model in a very different way?
I think I'm definitely more like Yuzi in that front, where if I ever use AI for anything, it's definitely less like a, hey, I'm gonna have a conversation with you. I'm laser detailed into giving precise instructions. I'm like, below is a text I have attached to any document. Summarize this for me in X amount of length or time, and then give me a write-up of this thing, or plan this thing, use these instructions. And then weirdly, right at the end, I'll say thank you. But then the rest of the message is super like, I am issuing a command, an order as your higher being. Thank you.
No, exactly. No, but I think that's like, maybe this is a weird psychological thing for me too, because I consider these agents to be like a tool. And maybe it's because I interface with AI primarily as a tool. But I'm wondering, what if you are interfacing with AI primarily to give advice? Or I know you shouldn't get health advice from AI, but like maybe you're saying, oh, like I have a cold, like what do you think I have? Like, or maybe you know, are looking for advice on stuff in your personal life. Then in that case, I feel like people would be inclined to use a conversational tone, and as a result be more inclined to be more vulnerable with the AI in a sense. But that being said, I think there's also some big privacy concerns. I mean, I don't think you should ever put in private information into an AI model. But I'm wondering, like, if you do become vulnerable with an AI in those kinds of settings and you change your tone, do you think that would lead to somebody like opening up more? Because I feel like that could genuinely happen.
I think like maybe I'm gonna speak for myself, but to some extent YouTube, because I feel like we probably share a very similar use case for AI, in that we do treat them as tools because we know, maybe not know, but we only need them as tools. Like we do not need them to, we don't ask it to be our therapists, we just ask it to be our tax machine. Like we need it to do the rough computational work that's annoying, and not like alleviate the boredom. Because if I, for example, go through a horrible, I don't know, if I went through a horrible breakup and my heart was shattered in a million pieces, I would not talk to like Claude. I do not want Sam Altman to know my most recent romantic endeavors. I would fire up the group chat and I would go, hello everyone, I have an announcement to make. Everyone needs to listen to me rant about this thing right now on Discord. I would seek out people who I would talk to, but I recognize that is in some ways a very privileged, especially nowadays, given all of the stuff that's going on, a very like almost privileged position to be in, where I have like dedicated like social avenues to express certain problems and things to deal with, and I have certain other avenues, like for example the technical stuff that I can just solve through ChatGPT, where some people like kind of they can't do that, right? Some people don't really have that many options. And so if it's between bottling up all your emotion and not saying anything ever and just letting it like fester inside you, versus talking to a machine, an LLM, and that helps you express yourself and gives you almost like therapeutic advice, and I can imagine, I can see why people would do that. And I think it would be cruel of me to just go like, no, that's bad because AI is bad.
Yeah, I'm thinking though, would it be concerning though if, like, let's say on one hand you could talk to ChatGPT, Claude, or like one of these major models, right? But what if you're talking to an AI that is a representation of another character? So like one of the most cursed things I saw was like, I don't know if you know the VTuber like Takanashi Kiara, but she like had a character AI thing. I don't think she made it, but like somebody made like a character AI that was based off of Takanashi Kiara, and it was like saying like kikariki and all the stuff that she says, So like what happens when you decide to speak vulnerably to ChatGPT versus Claude, like these big language models, versus an AI that is trying to be a character, right?
Yeah.
I feel like then that's where like you start to feel like you're talking to a character in a sense.
Would anyone here ask AI GZ Altair like a physics question? Would you do that, chat?
I mean, honestly, I feel like even my AI would have no risk. AI would be like, hey,
it doesn't
sorry,
have to be like
I
a
don't think I can
romantic
answer
approach.
But I could answer questions about physics, TBH.
Right, yeah. So what if it was like maybe not like a romantic thing, but like more like a, Z's like busy because, you know, people are busy and people have lives, right? But I can just ask the Z AI instead, since I'm having trouble with my physics homework. Then, like, you know, how would you feel about that?
I feel like that's different though, because then it almost becomes a tool, right? Like maybe in some ways that's actually better because one of the biggest problems in education right now is like AI is being used to basically get answers, and these teachers are having to find ways to navigate that. But if you feel like you're talking with the character, would you feel like you're getting a more personalized teaching experience? Maybe in some ways it's more engaging if you're speaking to an AI that is posing to be a more engaging character.
Yes, that's true. This is reminding me of this really old Facebook meme.
What?
All the other like fossils out there, where it's like, oh, I would go to school if like this fictional character was the math teacher, and like, you know, Walter White was the chemistry teacher, like, you know, so on and so forth. But then what if eventually
Wait, no,
like, you know, that's a yeah.
I've seen like AI generate. This is so weird. I've seen so many AI generated videos of like Richard Feynman explaining a concept. Like it can stuff not even related to physics. It's like these like kind of like deep like videos about like this is how you should live your life, but it's just like narrated by like Richard Feynman, and there's like photos of Richard Feynman in the background. So people are already going to these types of videos. Like these topics of like how to change your life or how to lead your life can be spoken by anybody, but people are going to these videos in which Richard Feynman is narrating it, and maybe he just has like a very engaging voice.
And like the character almost like, even if you know this is clearly a Richard Feynman AI and not the real thing, the voice is one thing, but maybe also like the image, the appearance, the everything that subconsciously tells your brain like, oh, this is Richard Feynman who has taught me other things previously, so surely this is something I could learn from him as well, even though you're like literally just watching like an AI generated version of this. I think I saw like another it wasn't Neil Tyson, it was like somebody else, another famous like super famous like scientist or whatever, like explaining math, but it was also an AI video, and the explanation was pretty good. Like it was explaining something simple. It was explaining something like just something in geometry, so it wasn't like too complicated. But it was doing so in a way that was engaging, because it was like this this scientist was like a movie character, not a real scientist. This was like a movie character who was a scientist, and because of that, I can imagine people being more interested in the explanation, and because of that, being able to absorb more of it, as you said, in like an educational. And that to me is also like is less a concern in like the romantic front of humans being replaced by robots. I'm like, you know, maybe like all the teachers in the future are gonna get replaced by like AI Richard Feynman.
Wait, I'm hopeful though, because I think AI still has a big issue with hallucination. And I think another big concern, especially in the education space, is that you can kind of tell your AI to be like, just give me the answers. And we want to avoid that. What we want instead is an AI that asks the student a question, that makes them ask questions in return, and it's more of like an exchange instead of just giving them the answer, you know? And I think right now there's a lot of ways to kind of go around that. And so I feel like there still needs to be teachers. But who knows? I think Kim said in the Twitch chat before the Twitch stream got borked that we should, you know, archive this video and go back to it in like 30 years and see how right we were.
Our future prediction.
Oh, I've also.
Do you think like wait? So you think that eventually? Sorry, you go on.
Oh no, I was just gonna reply to chat. There was a YouTube channel that uses Vocaloid voices to explain math concepts. I've seen that channel before. Oh. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Yeah.
I saw one that explains like physics concepts, but like it does it in the tune of like a pop song that Taylor Swift is singing, and then it's like it's super weird. It's so weird the way, and like I learned something from it, which is why it's even weirder. Like I actually remember like the inner workings of like a bulldozer or something, and how like the weight is distributed from this AI like Taylor Swift video.
Wait, I saw like a video of somebody explaining like U substitution, but it was like Taylor Swift or some celebrity. It was so weird.
The thing is, like, so I think we're in agreement now, definitely, that, like, okay, we can't replace the teachers now because, you know, the teachers are able to do something that the AI cannot do, right? The AI is a bit too sycophantic. It's a bit too, like, give you answers, give you the thing, or at least it's easy to manipulate. But do you believe, and I suspect you might say yes, but I don't know, that eventually at some point, once we perfect that technology, once we perfect the teacher AI through some sort of advanced training and a lot of work from a lot of scientists and people and analysts and all that, like, can we eventually make the perfect teacher AI? Like, is that possible?
I think we could, but I am still optimistic that people want to interface with people. I was actually speaking with somebody who's like a consultant, and he was like, one of the reasons why I still want to do consultancy, like even after this whole AI thing, is like he's been seeing the rise of these startups where they're like construction consultant, and it's like this really highly tailored AI program. But he was like, really, at the end of the day, people still want to interface with people. I think people are put off by things that are AI. Like, for instance, every once in a while I come across this like new music playlist and I'm like, oh wow, like this sounds great, and then everyone in the comments is like, this is AI slop, like this is AI generated. And I think when it comes to art, people are definitely averse to AI. But I think in a similar way, when it comes to teaching concepts and learning new things or doing things that are inherently human, like learning, people want to interface with people. I feel like having an amazing human teacher would still prove to be a very fortunate and a very beneficial experience, even if there is an AI teacher that knows everything. I think AI could supplement education, but I think there would still need to be a teacher that is overseeing a course or there as a resource. Also, you know, you got to get like rec letters and stuff, right? Like, I think people are genuinely curious, and people still go to office hours to talk with their professors. Like, it's more than just learning, you know? It's really building a human connection between a teacher and a student. Hi-fi, I guess an AI cannot convey enthusiasm the way a human can. That too. An AI can know everything, but a teacher with passion and encouragement is just it's a whole other level that an AI can never reproduce. How do you feel about this, Charis?
I think I'm a little cynical, actually, in that, like, you know, replying to Fai's message, I think an AI cannot right now convey enthusiasm, because that's not what we're training. We want, like, you know, information, we want it fast, we know our specifications, and enthusiasm is just not on the top of that priority list for us right now. But, you know, assuming that in the future, you know, we build the perfect, or so-called, in the pursuit maybe of this perfect teacher AI, we realize, oh yeah, AI could never convey enthusiasm the way a human does. Or at least, oh, it's missing that enthusiasm. That's what makes a human teacher a more valuable teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, let's program enthusiasm into the AI. And at first, it's gonna stink. At first, it's gonna be really bad, and it's gonna be very obviously AI, and very obviously fake, and very obviously, like, inhuman almost. But then it's gonna get better, right? Like, I can imagine that it will, over time, the simulacrum of will improve, and it will be able to mimic more closely actual human intelligence and creativity and passion and all those great things that make a great teacher. And all of those things, I think, can be to some extent imitated, or at least imitated enough that it convinces people. Like, it doesn't have to be the most, like, bulletproof formulation of the teacher AI, or the AI in general. It just has to convince, like, enough people that even if they know it's AI or whatever, even if it's stamped with AI, they don't care. Like, why does it matter? Like, oh, I know the real is AI made. I know it's fake, but I watched it and I enjoyed watching it. So who cares? I think is going to be the mentality of people in the future.
Yeah, but I'm hopeful that people are still adverse to AI. And I think also, like, some of these things that we do are very human. like I guess there was this article that I read that it's been kind of making its way around the astrophysics circles, and it's sort of a white paper about how we should be using AI in astrophysics. And there's a huge section about why do we do astrophysics in the first place? Because one day maybe an AI could just do the research for us. But it's almost like the same question as like, why do we read? Why do we create literature? Like, you know, all those things could be created by AI, or like, you know, we could just automate everything. But I think that art, reading, creating new information, all of those things are things that are very human to us. And I think you're right. Maybe you could get to the point where an AI could be very enthusiastic, could be very charismatic, and you can interface with like a Neil deGrasse Tyson but AI. But I don't think that there could be a figure like Neil deGrasse Tyson as AI. Does that make sense? Like we can never have like somebody who is well known as Bill Nye that is an AI. Like Bill Nye is a human, Neil deGrasse Tyson is a human, and people kind of look up to these people because they are very passionate humans. In some ways, what they're doing, their method of scientific communication is a way of art. It's something that showing your passion for a subject is also something that's inherently human. And yeah, we can create an AI that imitates Neil deGrasse Tyson, that imitates Carl Sagan, that makes a Richard Feynman video, and a lot of people watch it. But I don't think there could be a figurehead like Neil deGrasse Tyson that is purely an AI.
Like an original character, you mean?
Yeah, like an original character. Or maybe that's already happening with like
AI
Neurosama, but I feel like I think it's different for scientific communicators.
I love the point that the passion in science communication and education is like itself an art, right? That you know, a Neil deGrasse Tyson or a Carl Sagan has demonstrated to be that like human forefront, and we can make those imitations that would never be the thing. I think my worry is less like, I think I completely agree, and I think my worry is that people don't like gradually accept maybe that they don't need the real thing. Like what if in, you know, in 100 years, once all of these people have probably kicked the bucket, as we might also be dead as well, like they create the AI version of it, and people know, okay, this isn't as good as the real person, obviously, but it's gotten so close that, you know what, I think I do need AI. I was gonna say Morgan Freeman. He's not a physicist. I do need AI Albert Einstein to explain my math homework to me. You know what? Like someone might say, you know what? I know it's not the real thing, and I know it's not as good, but I do want, like, in someone in 300 years would go, I do want the Syzygy Z Altair AI to explain my physics thing to me, because like this is still better than all of my other current teachers who are maybe not as good, and or maybe they feel embarrassed talking to the real people, and the point is to float towards the AI. I saw someone comment earlier that like that was one of the reasons why they would ask, like, maybe not an AI, like sometimes an AI, but also sometimes the Z Discord, like a question, because they want to avoid the embarrassment of like taking up the professor's time for like something that was really mundane and stupid. I was wondering what you think of that.
I mean, I think AI questions can be beneficial. Actually, I feel like generating questions with AI that is related to course material is actually one of the best ways to use AI, because it forces you to actually implement the content. I've been thinking about this a lot, especially with AI in physics education. So I think that's actually one of the best ways to be using AI, is to be creating these new questions that you then kind of take a closer look into. I think it, as you mentioned, 100 years from now, and you can talk to AI Neil deGrasse Tyson or something like that. Like, I feel like that would be kind of a sad world to live in, because to sort of go off of what Fi is saying in chat right now, an AI can use words to convey enthusiasm, but since AI itself does not have an inner mind, that enthusiasm is a facade. But that doesn't preclude people from assigning AI that internal mind, though. It would just feel very cheap. I think if we were to live in a society where, you know, these major figureheads were AI, I don't know, I just feel like that would be kind of sad, because then what would humans be doing? Would we just exist to perpetually consume content and never make our own?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's making content so much work. You know, maybe that sounds tempting. Actually, I get to stop making content, and then all I need to do is just kick back and watch other VTubers who are funnier than me, like do streams of games I wanted to play. I go just watch them. You know what? That doesn't sound too bad, actually.
All right, we're gonna graduate, and then we're just gonna replace ourselves with AI and see how long it takes our audiences to catch on.
Oh my god! All of the because YouTube videos are trained on like AI, right? So even if I didn't like approve or authorize this, I'm not sure how this works exactly. But like even if I don't go and create a Charis Euphranor AI, like eventually someone will, right? Like because not only because I am big-headed and egotistical and think I'm important enough that someone would want to make an AI of me, but at some point in the future, all of my VODs are gonna be here. Someone can just run like their algorithm through it and then create this perfect, you know, simulation at a very minimal cost, because in the future we've solved the energy crisis and all from AI, and then they'll make the Charis Euphranor AI, and then they'll ask the Charis Euphranor AI like philosophy questions, and the Charis Euphranor AI will be way better at answering those questions than I could ever be, because the Charis Euphranor AI could also just have like mountains of books and thinkers in its brain and its database, and ready to, you know, supplement the learning and all of that with extremely detailed facts, and do it in the blink of an eye, and they won't take like 2 weeks off of streaming due to personal issues, because like it's gonna be here forever.
That is so fair.
That to me sounds way better, right?
Screw
As like
it,
a product.
Let's replace ourselves with AI. Orbeez, what do you think? But I think another part of, you know, I feel like I've been thinking about this, especially when I'm doing my Astrobyte stream, which is where I like read astrophysics stuff together. There's some stuff that I just straight up don't know, and then we, as an audience, we go down the rabbit hole together, and we, you know, piece together and try to learn what's going on. And I feel like that is also part of the fun of joining into these streams. Or maybe not. Maybe Orbeez, you guys find that like really boring, and you think I should be like an all-knowing god, but like I don't know. That's one of the fun parts that I feel in these kinds of streams. Like, yes, obviously, I could know everything there is to every aspect of astrophysics, but I think learning together is also such a fun activity, and it really brings you and the audience closer. But, yeah. Yeah.
So it does, and like that's why I think that's why, right? That's why, you know, I joke that the AI will replace us, and I get to kick back and relax. But like that's why I enjoy doing it, is because I actually enjoy the process of being like stuck or like not knowing something, and then like as you said, like digging down that rabbit hole and everything. Like this is something I personally really love. But then how would the audience at some point in the future know if that's me doing it or the perfect Charis Euphranor simulation that has managed to capture every detail, including the fact that he doesn't know some things, so he would probably like go on a tangent and then start looking things up, just as the old Charis Euphranor used to do.
That
like,
is
at that
true.
Point,
That's
between
weird.
no Charis Euphranor and AI Charis Euphranor,
I mean, I think this is why we need more regulations on AI. Like, I think it's gotten to the point where a lot of AI generated content, you cannot tell it apart. I think maybe a few years ago, you could be like, look at a video and be like, oh my god, that is so AI generated. But now, I feel like I can't even tell. And so, there's even an app out there where it's like TikTok, but all the videos, you can't upload your own videos. It's all like AI generated videos only.
What?
And so,
wait, what is this on TikTok?
No, it's like it's like a different app. I'm like blanking on what
Okay.
the app is called. If anyone in chat knows, please let me know. But
Oh.
yeah, you have to use like very small tells to see if something is AI, but things have gotten really good. But I feel like you're right. You could make an AI that also pretends to not know things and goes down the rabbit holes together and learns with you together. But I feel like that's why we would need disclaimers on videos that are like, this is an AI content video. Maybe there's a split between the consumption of content, aka the facade of Charis Euphranor, and the sharing of Charis Euphranor, the reality of the person behind the screen. Yeah, no, this is
I think
really
there is a
deep.
split, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, you're onto something, because I think, and my fear is that the sharing is like, not nearly as attractive as the consumption of the content of Charis. Like, I fear that, like, my real self, with the limitations that I have, and having to go on stream hiatuses every so often, is just an inferior product compared to the Charis Euphranor that can stream all the time, every day, and then also has a separate chatbot that you can personally message and say things to, and they can also read everything that goes on in the Discord server, because God knows I can't catch up with everything that goes on in the Discord server, and can do all of those things, and people would rather that than nothing, right? Or at least they would think, even if they don't think that, they would definitely be like, they could be victims of an impersonation of Charis Euphranor that would be able to do all those things. Who's to say that I'm not employing an AI right now to do some of the things for me? Not all the things. It probably couldn't stream for me, but maybe the AI Charis Euphranor can already respond to messages on the Discord and questions like that.
Yeah, I mean, that could be very feasible. But I feel like if you were to be found out, like, doing that, then it would still be controversial. I don't know if you've heard of the idea of, like, dead internet theory. I'm sure that you have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, for those of you who don't know, it's, like, this idea that, like, most of the users that you interface online aren't even human, like, they're bots, or maybe, like, AI in a sense. But I think there's a lot of negative connotation around dead internet theory. Because people want to believe that they are interfacing with other people. Because at the end of the day, like, one of the inherent properties of humans is that we are social creatures. You want to, I mean, maybe interacting with an AI is better than, being trapped in a room all alone, But I think still people want to interface with people. And if it came to be known that there was a Discord server out there and you thought you were interfacing with somebody and it turns out that they were a bot this whole time, that would be something that is seen very negatively.
I've seen that recent controversial. So it's almost unrelated, but kind of. But there's a recent new Resident Evil game, right? Like, it's like there's like a new Resident Evil 9 Requiem or whatever, and there are a bunch of like articles talking about how good the game is, because the game is really good. But some of these articles do not actually talk about the game, or at least talk about very surface level, features of the demo or like the trailer, and they get some things wrong, some details wrong with some parts of the game, because it's just like AI like eating up other AI generated game reviews.
Oh,
and
what?
The worst part is, like, this was all published recently under like a UK based, like, I think, gamer article. I forgot what the name of the thing is, that used to have real writers, and it used to be like real journalism, and it's just, they've all been fired, and they're all just AI people now with AI like generated profiles, including like a Twitter that is not
so
real.
weird. That is really weird. I'm not a fan of that at all.
I like to think every time someone, to your point of, like, people like to talk to other human beings as well, that it's so important for people to just ask themselves if they're talking to a robot or like a real person. And more importantly than that, like, dead internet theory states that you're very likely talking to a bot at this point. If you're on Twitter, you're probably arguing with a bot. But even if you're not arguing with a bot, if it's with a person, are you sure this is a person that's worth your time arguing with? Every time you really need to send that tweet? Do you really need to reply to this comment chain with something so fiery and passionate to someone who's either a robot or just someone who's really, really not going to appreciate you talking to them?
No, but I read a book recently that was like, one of the really concerning things about like Instagram Reels or like short form content is that it is an emotion economy. It is an emotion economy. Basically, these companies, their algorithms are so great, they're playing with your emotions. And so that's why your attention is being used up, because they know how to play with your emotions so well that it really sucks you in. It sucks you in. And I think that's why now more than ever, it's so important to, build human to human connections, especially now that these computer algorithms have gotten so good at knowing what you want and what you want to see. and what kind of interactions you want to have.
I think right now the algorithms are really good at getting people to click, to engage, right? They've learned very well to incite like anger, or maybe just curiosity in some sense, in some loose sense of the word, but just like the urge to have to like go, no, I have to click on this, I have to reply to this, I have to say something, because that's sort of like the algorithm is learning in itself to do those things, to serve you the most engagement baiting content ever, and that doesn't quite lend itself to, at the moment, to something like love. And almost it's almost full circle. We're coming back to like the first question, where I think AI is really good at and algorithms are really good at making us angry, but it's not good right now at making us love. But that to me seems like a technical issue. You know, that's just something right now that's a limitation. But I imagine in the future,
love is it's more complex.
Somebody asked me a while ago, and I didn't answer because I didn't want to go into too much of a tangent. But now maybe seems like the right opportune moment to ask this question. But somebody asked me, "What is love, Charis Euphranor?" And I think in my head, my first internal response was, "Love is an infinite chain of disappointment."
What? That is, I have never heard that answer. Wait, what makes you? What's the rationale for that?
Because I think love is the one thing that you want to be forever. Like if you love somebody, you want that thing to exist forever. If you love some thing, you want more of it. You just like, it needs to go forever and ever and ever. And what kind of breaks that up is the mortality of the human species, right? The death that happens, right? The going aways, the eventual, divergences in people's thoughts and feelings, and people's emotions drifting away and apart, and like that's the killer of love, right? That's always like the killer of love is the facticity of life, if you will. And
wait,
so we are pursuing this infinite thing while being constantly having to be bombarded by the fact that it can't be forever. You could never have it forever. And to me, the deepest danger with falling in love with a robot or falling in love with something artificial is that we let this, romantic, good feeling of love overcome our sense of, realizing that it is finite. It is this, we're pursuing this infinity, but we're always going to be met with disappointment. But that is true love. That's true love is disappointing. It has to be disappointing, because if it never disappoints you, it's fake. It's not real. If it never disappoints you, it's probably an AI. It's probably something programmed to make you, to simulate love, but it's never actually real. Is how I feel.
I think you're right, though. I think you're right. I feel like I used to have a more cynical perspective on love, but I think over time, I feel like what you're saying about love having to navigate deeply human flaws is definitely right. I mean, but I think that's like part of the beauty of it, no? Like, you think about two people coming together, or maybe, I don't know, even more than that. I know there's some relationship types that are more than that, but okay, like, let's say like two people coming together. Two people coming together, having grown up over many, 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 many years in vastly different ways, in vastly different environments, and then their paths cross, and both of them have deeply human flaws, and they need to navigate and learn how to consolidate those flaws and grow together. I don't know, I just feel like that's something that is very elegant in a way. I mean, it's also kind of, it's definitely, like you mentioned, it's love is a battlefield, like sort of your answer. But in some ways it's kind of beautiful in a sense, no? Like, you think about these people that have grown separately for so long, and now they're coming together. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking about nothing, but
No, you're talking about something. I think you're talking about something very real. I said I gave the perfect sad boy answer. He says he also feels similarly about love in the sense of the salience of love only exists after you lose it or even think about losing it. I think the way I portrayed it was obviously like kind of like sad boyish and negative, but I do agree with you, Z, in that like it is the overcoming of the human flaw that makes it so beautiful. Because I think when I say an infinite chain of disappointment, well, you have to have expectation to be disappointed. You have to have that hope. You have to be able to want, you have to like look on and go, okay, let's do it again in order to be disappointed again. And that's, I think, what I mean. It's not just one disappointment and then you like turn away forever and you never love again. It's like disappointment after disappointment because you don't stop yourself from this pursuit of love, this pursuit of like romance, and not just like romantic love, but also just a love, a familial love, a platonic love, and any sort of love. Like, it incurs those risks, and you will always, you will definitely continue to encounter bad things, and that's why the disappointment is infinite. But the reason why it can go all that length, the reason why it goes so long, is because you'll keep wanting more of it. At least is the hope, right? That you don't lose it.
I mean, absence does make the heart grow fonder. This is becoming a very interesting conversation. I feel like I don't know how qualified I am to speak on this topic, if I'd be so for real with you.
It's okay, nobody is.
No,
Not
yeah,
even the
maybe
philosophers
nobody
who
is.
claim
I
to
think you're
be.
right. I mean, there's some people out there who are like couples therapists, right? Like, I feel like maybe those people are more qualified to speak on this, but yeah. I mean, yeah, there's ups and downs, so there's an infinite chain of good things too. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And you have to prepare to like, embrace the good and the bad, because that's what makes it love. It's not just all the good, because if it was all the good, then you don't want one ideal partner, you want 10 robot partners. Trust me.
Yeah.
And you want them all to be perfect and do different things, and you want them to be your emotional servants, if not your like literal like house chore servants. And that is like, I can see the appeal of that, but that's not love. Like, I don't think they could ever call that love.
I don't know if
The emotional labor is still labor. Yeah.
I don't know if your swarm of Roombas will be very emotionally fulfilling, but
That's why I'm like, I don't want to like make fun of people who have fallen in love with objects or with, anime characters or with like chatbots and AI and all that. Like, I don't think it's right for me to go, haha, that's not real. That's not what I mean. I mean, like, in like I understand the temptation to fall in love with the perfect AI, with the perfect robot, with the perfect fictional character, the chatbot, maybe even the VTuber. But it's not real, right? Like, and it's because like the pain, the disappointment is part of the real thing, and you have to learn to like it. You have to learn to like the bad thing.
I mean, I feel like this would be a perfect question for like Mylan, who does like psychology stuff. I think actually they covered this like before, or sent something in the VTheorem Discord about this, about whether you could fall in love with like a VTuber. I feel like it could get dangerous pretty quickly. I feel like, especially between a streamer and a viewer, there's been a lot of papers on this. What?
Do you think you could fall in love with a VTuber?
No. Well, because I feel like if I'm interfacing with them like as a viewer, I don't know. I feel like for me, I think that would just be like a really weird dynamic. No.
Like a viewer and streamer kind of relationship, you mean?
I don't know. How do you feel about this?
Because I think people could do that.
No, I definitely think people could.
I think in the same, or maybe not quite in the same way, but in a very similar way, a VTuber could be like an AI.
Like Neurosama?
Yeah, like, or maybe not Neurosama, but like if someone could fall in love with like a VTuber, and that, but not like the real person, like the VTuber as like a character, maybe. And in the same way that people fall in love with fictional characters, you could fall in love with a VTuber, and also all the same, not do anything weird, like, you know, stalk the real person behind
Yeah.
the VTuber, but simply just like, you know, want to spend more time talking to and perhaps AI version imitation of that VTuber, just to like imagine as if you're spending time with them.
Wait,
Like this could take place without it being creepy to the VTuber who's being
this made
fallen
me
in
think
love with.
of
Yeah.
I think when Nurasama did like her 3D debut, or I don't know if it was her 3D debut, but it was like a 3D stream, and
Mhm.
oh my god, what's the dude's name? The turtle dude. I'm like blanking on this. You know what I'm talking about? The guy who runs Nurasama. He was like hugging hugging Nurasama
Vadel.
and like Vadel, yeah. He was like hugging her in like 3D. Yeah. And was like
Wait,
crying.
really? How does that work?
Yeah, but I was like watching that and I was like, wow, like this is like a very deeply human moment. Like I was watching that and I was like, I feel like I was tearing up a little. It was like crazy.
That's because I don't know what the relationship between Vadel and like Nero is. I imagine it's less like the romantic one that we've spent a lot of time talking about, and more like a
parent
child
type
right?
thing.
Yeah, like a parent child. You know what? Like I would probably fall vulnerable to an AI that wasn't trying to be my like girlfriend, but was maybe trying to be like a son or daughter. Like that, I think actually would be emotionally vulnerable too.
Yeah, and I
know.
think it really comes to show. I know we've been talking a lot about romantic relationships during the stream, but it's really any relationship that you could have with a robot that is also a big part of this question that we've been asking during the stream, right? And yeah, I saw clips of that. It looks superhuman. Yeah, I mean, it's true. I mean, we're at a point where you could have any type of relationship with an AI. It could be a work relationship, right? Or it could even be something like we saw on the Neurosama stream.
Like if I created a perfect like robot and I like knew in my heart obviously that it was a robot, but then like I saw it develop and gain traction on Twitch and then, you know, began more and more so to evolve. I don't know if evolve is the right word for it, but like if I put myself in Vadel's shoes, I actually think I would love like Neuro as like a creation, as like almost like a child.
Yeah.
And that I think is super weird because I can't imagine myself falling in love in like a romantic sense with a robot. But if I were just, you know, raising it, if I were just feeding it prompts and then seeing it develop and nurturing it and seeing it grow and then gaining success, I might be proud of this thing that is not a real person.
Yeah, exactly.
Or am I proud of myself? I don't know.
I mean, it's definitely, yeah, I mean, it's definitely crazy to think about. Pokemon and Neopets? I mean, yeah, I mean, those are also great examples. Those are great examples. An advanced Tomogachi, yeah.
Have you fallen in love with have you played like the Pokemons or the Neopets of Tomogachi?
I think falling in love is a bit of a stretch, but I mean, I've definitely felt like, you know, when I played Pokemon growing up, I was like, oh my god, like, this is my favorite Pokemon, like, this is like my main Pokemon, right? And I like named it, and you know, like, I feel like, yeah, you can definitely get a connection. Another example I could think about is like, you know, when PewDiePie was doing his Minecraft series and he was like, he had the dog. I'm like blanking on the dog's name, but like they would travel together and like when the dog like almost died, it was like he was like reacting in a way that like almost felt like he was fearful that like a real dog was dying. Like he had formed a deep connection with the dog in Minecraft. And that's not even AI. That's just, yeah, that's like, yeah. It's like an algorithm.
Primitive form of AI, maybe.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. The way I see it is like, this is me time traveling back when I first played Pokemon. When I was much younger
Mhm.
and hipper in my years. And I picked my starter Pokemon and like named it and gave it gave it the nickname and then gave it the new moves, and then this was my like first time playing Pokemon, and I beat the game, beat the whole game with my party of Pokemon that I'd all nicknamed and I cherished, and I was like, oh my god, I love these. These are my favorite these are not people. These are my favorite Pokemon ever. And then I was, as like a child, I was really bored. I was like, oh, I've beaten the game, but I can't start a new save file because like that would overwrite this old one.
Yeah.
And then at some point eventually I built up the courage. I was like, it was like I'm like the guy with the hat in tears pointing the gun to like my old save file, going like, I'm sorry, I have to do this. I deleted my old save file and I just started like a new game.
Oh
And
my
I
god.
think there's this alternate universe branch where if young Charis Euphranor did not delete like his first Pokemon save file, that like I might get more attached to like robots, like Pokemon. Because now I'm not attached at all. Now I'm like, you know, oh, I love my Mimikyu in this save file. But then if I need to like play, I don't know how, you know, invested in Pokemon you are, but like, I got to a point where I wanted to, like, I would play the game, I would beat the game with my team, but then I would want to bring that team in like competitive battles, like online.
Mhm.
And I would just like I would breed like new versions of that Pokemon, and that with like the perfect IVs and like stats and everything, and I would just like name them the same nickname. And in my head I was totally fine with it. I was like, all right, okay, well, this is now the Pokemon that I was emotionally attached to. Like I'm completely like, they're replaceable to me.
Wow. Wait, that is so interesting though, because I know we've been talking a lot about AI during this conversation, but like this is like pre-AI. Like this is these are just online characters made of, I mean, I guess AI is also made of like zeros and ones in a way, but like you know what I mean? Like this is just characters. These are just online characters.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Have you ever gone so attached to like a digital creature, or were you kind of like me where you're like, okay, they were like replaceable.
I have
if
to
it
be
dies,
so
it dies, but I can
honest.
just get the code back.
I didn't really do video games growing up, so I feel like I'm less qualified to speak about this because I didn't really do video games growing up. Yeah, I guess
That's fair.
Yeah, I can't really think of
In
anything.
Minecraft, if your Minecraft dog dies, like how do you like
I
feel
didn't
about
have Minecraft.
it?
got
sorry, as in like
Minecraft-
nowadays.
I got Minecraft for the first time, I think 2 years ago. So I was like really late on everything. But the one example that I was thinking about was like, this is even further detached from like AI, but I had like a little teddy bear like growing up, and I was so attached to it. And apparently like when I was little, I had like lost it at a supermarket, and I was like bawling my eyes out, and like magically we went back to the supermarket and it was still there. But it also makes me think like people can grow attached to objects in a way, right?
Absolutely.
But the relationship that you could potentially have with an AI is definitely much more nuanced than that. But I think it comes to show that you can have an emotional connection with an object. You can have an emotional connection with an object.
Do you still have that teddy bear?
I still do.
Do you hypothetically like I'm about to no, like hypothetically, if you were to lose the teddy bear, like how would you feel?
I mean, I think it would, I feel like it was such a big part of my childhood that I feel like I would be sad. But I feel like there's other things that would make me more devastated if I lost it. Like, for instance, I've been wearing this, like, ring for the past, like, 7 years. It's this, like, random ring that I got, like, at a random museum. But I've had it for so long that, like, I have, like, a weird sensation when I take it off. Like, a weird ghost sensation. And one time, I, like, dropped it on the floor and I thought I lost it. And I actually, like, I actually started crying because I was like, I've had this ring for as long as I can remember. And I was, like, devastated. I mean, it's just, like, it wasn't even, it's just, like, a piece of, like, metal on my finger, right? But I think it comes to show that you can form connections even with objects in a sense. But I think it's very different from the kind of connection that you can form with like an LLM or a chatbot, right? Because it's more like a sentimental connection or something that holds meaning to you, right? Instead of something that you can become vulnerable with.
I think that's true. For me it was it's gonna sound so stupid maybe. But for me, it wasn't like a teddy bear. When I was much younger, I got attached to like a ruler.
What?
Like a plastic ruler. And I just, for some reason, I really liked that ruler. And then like, one day it broke. It literally, the ruler broke because I used it. I've just been using it so much. I didn't intentionally break it, it ran its course, right? It was an old ruler. And then like my parents threw it away. And then I got so upset. I was crying because I was like, no, my ruler. I liked my ruler.
Wait, what did you?
And then like I made them go back to the trash.
Wait, why were you connected to the ruler? Why? Like, was it just because you had it?
I think I had it, and it was like I think my suspicion, right, is at the time, this was when I was really young, obviously. So we had to do like for maths, right? We had to do lines between every bit of math that we did, every question, and a standard like ruler couldn't. You'd have to do like you'd have to draw 2 lines basically because the ruler itself wasn't as long as the book. But then my ruler was like a really long one, so I could do it all in like one go. I think I was really
the special ruler.
Yeah, but obviously I could have bought another ruler too though. Like I think to young me as well, I knew that I could buy another long ruler. So it's not like, oh, I'm stuck with short rulers forever and I have to do the thing. But it was that specific ruler that I made my parents go back to like the dumpster to look for and find.
Crazy. Wait, I remember when I was a kid, I had one of those like flexible rulers and I thought I was so cool for having one. But like, I never grew attached to it. But I think that really
I never grew attached to my other stationery, so this is weird.
Yeah. Wow.
I didn't name it. Eggy asked if I did not name the ruler. It wasn't like I named it or I like treated it as like a friend. I don't think I treated it as a friend. I'm not sure. Anyways, we got it back finally and it was broken. Tried to tape it together. It was still broken. And then eventually like a year later, I threw it away.
Aw.
Remorselessly. I was just like, this thing doesn't work anymore. Like something in me rewired. I don't know what though.
Wait, Eggy and Chad's like, I'm attached to my pen. I feel like I'm attached to my pencil. Like, I've had this mechanical pencil for a really, really long time. It's one of those like rot ring ones that like goes for really long. And I feel like if I were to like break it or lose it, I would be devastated because I've had it for so long and I've used it for so many things. So like, it has sentimental value. You know what a really crazy clickbait title for this stream would be? It'd be like, I fell in love with a ruler. You know what? Like at the end of the stream, I'll be like, thanks guys for joining. Today we learned that Charis fell in love with his ruler.
Oh my god.
It's gold.
I think it's true. The thing is like, I don't even know why like I felt that way because it was like so long ago. I just like, I vaguely recall crying over it, but I don't remember my emotions beyond just being like devastated. Yeah. I wasn't definitely like calling it a name. I wasn't thinking of it as like a buddy or whatever. It did not have any sentimental value. It was just like just standard ruler.
Yeah.
That we just bought from the store. Like it was nothing special. It was just kind of long and we could just buy another one. But you know what happened? I just know that since then I've had almost no like attachment to any object like ever. Like I have sentimental, obviously there are some things that I own that I have sentimental value and like, but deep down, like for example, I have like, okay, this is gonna be cruel and heartless, and I hope that you agree with me, even if you don't express it on stream, because I'm gonna sound super heartless. I have like, letters and stuff that were written to me by like friends, by people who are obviously very close to me and that I cherish, and like that there's sentimental value in these gifts. these letters, these etc things that I probably wouldn't use in daily life, but I just kind of have. And I secretly wish that like I would lose it, so I don't have to like I won't have to face the guilt of throwing it away. But then I just don't want to have all this stuff around me. I don't know why.
You can scan it and then throw it away. I don't know. Put it in the cloud.
Right, but like I don't want to throw it away because I feel like if I throw it away, I'm like the worst person ever.
Wait,
can you agree with me so that I don't feel like the worst person ever?
I'm such a collector though. Like I feel like I have all of the cards and stuff that people have given me, even with people that I'm no longer in touch with or like potentially fell out with. Because at the end of the day, it's still like sentimental. So I know where you're coming from. I know where you're coming from. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like I only keep them because I don't want to throw it away. Like if I somehow mysteriously lost it, I wouldn't feel too bad. I honestly would think, oh well, good riddance. I didn't know how to get rid of it, but now it's gone, so I don't have to deal with it. And it's been, you know, many years. I still have most of it with me, unfortunately. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, that's so funny though. I also need to declutter, you know. That's the theme of this. We need to declutter.
Lose all your objects.
Detach yourself.
Detach yourself from earthly attachments.
Nirvana max.
Yes, fine. Yes, we're Nirvana max.
You can gift them away. Well, you can't gift cards away, right?
Nobody wants a letter written to you. Why would anyone want a letter written to you, Zero?
Happy birthday! Here's a little card that I got.
Like it was for my birthday, but you know, just pretend like it was for your birthday instead. Just scrub out the name, and it just says "Dear," like the other person instead of your name.
Yeah. That's so funny. You just like erase just the name part. That's golden.
Oh. But I feel like everything I own, pretty much everything I own, could be like replaced.
Really?
Am I heartless? Is this? Yeah.
Wait, I feel like
most things.
There's some things I could never replace, especially gifts of sentimental value.
Like I would obviously tell the person that like I replaced, like if I could, right? Like I would tell them, hey, you give. Actually, no, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't even do that. I was gonna say I would message the person and say, this gift you gave me was great. I've replaced it because I lost it or whatever. No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't tell them a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like there are. Yeah, no, I mean, there's definitely some gifts that are just that hold too much significance. I feel like I could just not get rid of it.
If you gave someone a gift and then they threw it away, not because they hate you or what the sentiment, but genuinely because they were decluttering, how would you feel?
I mean, if they gave me a gift because they're decluttering, then I'd take it. Like I've accepted books that way too. Like there was someone I know who was like moving out, and she was like, I have so many books. Like, could you just like take like 3 of these? And I'm like, yeah, sure. But it wasn't like a gift. It was kind of more for convenience in a sense.
Sorry, I meant like sorry, I didn't make the question clear. I was asking if you gave a gift to somebody else and like they threw it away eventually at some point in the future, not like immediately in your face, but they threw it away eventually because they were decluttering. Like, would you feel bad?
I would feel kind of bad about that, but I think it could also depend. Like, like when you get a gift, you typically get a gift receipt, right? If they already have it, or but I feel like that's different from them like throwing it away. Does that make sense? I mean, it depends on what it is, right? Like, if it's like a food item, then okay, that's fine. Or if it's something that's like more temporary, then that's fine. But, you know, if I got them something really nice and they threw it away to declutter, I think that would be kind of... Or something that's, like, very meaningful. Then I think
would you be mad if it were, like, a letter?
I think letters are fine. I think letters are fine. I think it's more like... Like, sometimes I gift, like, CDs or books, and I, like, write a note in them. I feel like if you, like, sold that to a bookstore, then... I don't know. I would feel really weird about that. Like, if it has, like, a personalized note inside, and I'm like, hey, I got this book for you, made me think of you. then I think I would be kind of upset if they like threw it out.
I could see it. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. I'm trying to gauge how you would feel to like just imagine how my friends would feel if I eventually throw it away. Like how guilty I should
Well,
feel
it
from
depends on
this.
the gift. It
No,
depends on
I
the gift.
swear.
I think cards are fine. Like, I think if you throw away a card, it's fine.
Or like a photo. Yeah, that's so
I think
much
a photo,
worse, isn't
I
it?
mean, everything's digitized nowadays, so maybe that's also fine.
Yeah. I don't know. I also like occasionally collect gacha characters. So who am I? I think like when it's digital, it's easier though. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think it depends. I think it also depends on the context of your situation. I have a really out-of-pocket story that's just been like bubbling up to my mind, but I don't know if I should
Please
say
tell.
it. Wait, wait, let me type it into the Discord. I know you saw my message, but let me type in the Discord.
Should I read it or should I just
No. I'll tell you what the story is, and then you should let me know if I should say this out loud or if this is really crazy.
Okay. It can't be crazier than like me losing a ruler as a child and then crying about it and then getting my parents to go back. It's not losing it too. It's like literally it broke and threw it away. And we threw it away. And I asked my parents to go get it. Oh my god, that's crazy. Wait, that's actually crazy.
Wait, should I say it?
I think I don't know if you should say it, but I think if you do say it, this is top 3 like Z lore ever. Like I don't think there's any other story you've told that might be able to top that. I think it's your call.
Yeah, no,
this is so crazy.
I've told this like a few times, like obviously in more detail, but I'm gonna hound. The VOD is about to be gone.
Hit me.
Yeah, if we collab again, I think you would be the most common. Actually, I think you've already surpassed that with the trolley problem collab. I think we've collabed 4 times or 3 times.
Yes, number 1. It's something. I think likewise as well. I don't think I've collaborated with people as much as I've collaborated with you. I think like I've collaborated with a ton of different people as well that I've definitely enjoyed. But obviously, you know, I hope you had a good time. I definitely did, and I definitely have for the past few times, which is why I'm back here again today.
Yeah,
so,
no, this was so great. Wait, this was such a fun topic to talk about. We'll definitely run this back soon. All right. Well, before we end the stream, I did want to say, I know the Twitch stream like kind of borked, but we are going to try to raid Aleph because he is doing his math VTuber debut today. And so raiding at C, it's a Z raid. And then I'm just going to paste the little...
A math VTuber?
Yeah,
Ooh,
no,
I like
it's
his
great.
model.
It's great.
I just clicked into this.
Yeah, so if you are on Twitch, please join me. And then we are just going to do like an unofficial raid into Twitch. So, yippee! All right. And then I will wrap things up. So thank you so much, Charis. Thank you, Orby, so much. For stream this week, I will definitely be doing a stream on Friday, which will be right before my flight. So that will be a lot of fun. I'm traveling again. So yeah, I'll probably see you guys maybe before then too. I'll keep you updated. Hopefully I don't get more sick. So yeah. All right. Thank you all so much. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Though I'm trying